Yo, back for some more wisdom. And yeah, today we're going to be speaking about things that I wish I did not listen to when I first started in the gym, right? When you first start the gym, there's like a lot of noise. Everyone thinks their way's the right way. And you go through this phase where it's like shiny object syndrome. You're trying different splits, different types of nutrition, different ways of working out until you realize what works for you and what doesn't. So I'm here to help you skip that trial and error phase and just skip through the bullshit and just get straight to it. So first thing that you hear a lot is to bulk, to just go crazy, eat everything that's inside. And this is one of the worst things that you can do in terms of longevity on your fitness journey. And obviously there's nuance to it. Like it depends where you start from. So if you start super skinny, frail, of course you want to bulk, but do it in a controlled way. You don't just want to be eating everything because when you just start bulking like a madman, you're going to be eating donuts, KFC, things with a lot of oil in them. It's going to affect your skin, your health markers. You're not going to look good. We're here in the gym to look aesthetic. I don't care what anyone says. You're here to look aesthetic, unless you want to impress guys. But if you're here to look aesthetic, you do not want to be fucking dirty fucking. And I went through this phase myself. I just thought, yo, I was super impatient. And I was like, yo, I'm just going to eat everything that's inside. Did it go well? No. To be fair, I put on so much like size. I think I started off about 84 kg, and then within like 6 to 8 months, I was like 105 kilos. And I'm 6'3", right? So I'm naturally quite big and tall. But bro, this was crazy. And I used to play football a lot, right? And I remember I didn't play. I played for the first time since I was skinny, right? There was like an 8 month gap from when I was skinny to when I was like 105 kilos. And I could call I put on some muscle, but I put on a lot of fat as well. And I tried to play football. Fuck. Bro, it was crazy. I couldn't turn. I couldn't run. I was gassed out. I was like, nah, like bulking can't be good for you, bro. Like, I feel unhealthy, you know. It's not a good thing at all. But luckily that summer I worked in a warehouse. I was doing loads of steps. So I kind of leaned out. I went to about 15%, 40% body fat after that. But the worst thing you can do is just fucking go crazy and bulk. You want to do things bit by bit over a sustained amount of time. You want to, as Greg Doucette says, you want to main gain. You want your gym journey to go like that. You don't want to fucking stress out your central nervous system by fucking being in a surplus for a year, 2 years, then fucking crashing down, being in a deficit for a long amount of time. You don't want to do that. You want to build steadily. Slow and steady wins a race. Like the gym it's not a race. It's a process. You got to enjoy the process. Don't rush. Like you'll end up with fucking stretch marks on your waist like a bad bitch, man. You end up with stretch marks on your waist because you wanted to fucking rush it and eat too much. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, see that I got stretch marks on my shoulders here. These are kind of cool, you know, some on my rear delts. But don't do it. Don't do it. That's all. And you want to be able to see your weaknesses where you can't see your weaknesses and where you need to improve as much, or even see the muscle that you built if it's fucking stored under fucking laser fat like a polar bear. Don't do it. Do not do it. Now, the second thing, right? Second piece of advice you shouldn't listen to is just lift super heavy. Don't do it. Right? When you start in the gym, people are gonna tell you, like fucking lift heavy. And if you're lifting with your boys, like how I started out, lifting with my boys, right? There's a lot of competition there. So you're always going to be trying to outlift each other. And what does this lead to? Ego lifting. So your ego lift, you'll get injuries, you won't be doing it with proper form. You're just going to look stupid. And you're in the gym, but you're wasting your time because you're not putting your muscles under the appropriate tension or the right muscles. And then you'll be wondering why your progress is slowing down. Like, are we in the gym to impress people in the gym, or are we in the gym to actually build our physiques? It's up to you, man. You got to think which one you're in the gym for. Like, I remember, I think like a year or two, even 2 years into my gym journey, I had to strip back all the weights on my on all my lifts, I had to go back down to minimal weight just to work on my form to make sure I'm really doing mind to muscle connection, to improve that, to improve my range of motion, to really target the right muscles. And then since then, I've never looked back. And I wouldn't have had to do that. I would have been a lot further in my gym journey if I just did that from the start, no ego lifting. But then when you kind of mature and you realize, listen, like, what are we actually doing here? Like, who are we here to impress? You start doing things with the correct form. You fall in love with getting your form proper. Do you know what I mean? My brother's, he's 17. When he started out in the gym, I told him like just focus on your form, and for him, he's super dialed in with his form. Like if he feels like he's not doing it right, he'll ask me, or he'll find the way to do it properly. And he doesn't care about how heavy he's doing the weight. As long as he's doing the form properly, you can feel the mind to muscle connection. That's what you need to be doing. Don't go crazy and fucking injure yourself, bro. Then you can't go to the gym for a few months and it's back to square one, right? You got to think long term with the gym. Build a solid foundation so you can reap the rewards later on. Now, an example, let me tell you about time when I did it, right? Because listen, everything I say is because I've fucking done it. I don't just talk just to talk, right? I think I was 18. I was 18 and I was doing like, I was ego lifting. I was going for a PR on the bench. I think it was 120 kg. For the Americans, that's like two, 250 pounds, something like that. Cool. So we're there now. I'm doing the weight, but my spine's super bent. I did it with shit form. I think I did it for 2 reps, super shit form. But then my rotator cuff fucked. I felt my rotator cuff go, and for like 3 weeks, I couldn't lift heavy on anything. And it was from that moment, actually. From that moment, I said, yo, forget this form stuff. I mean, forget this ego lifting stuff. I'm just going to focus on form, make sure I'm doing things in the right way because you can't keep getting injured. And luckily, that's the only injury I've ever had in the gym, right? So focus on form, don't ego lift. Think long term, and you'll be calm, right? Short video, that's all for today. Catch you next time.